What is up, ladies and germs? My name is King Yami, and I'm here to talk to you about the last episode that's just been released for Samurai Jack. Now, if you've been following my reviews, you might know that I have been slipping. I totally missed the one before last week. And the reason for that, which is I'm probably going to get a little rant here. I'm probably going to put an annotation up just so you can get the review, so you can skip this part if you want to. But my car has been in the shop, and I've had to deal with that for like about a month now. Like the first time I went in, my engine was totally fucked up, and like I had to pay like over $2,000 to get it repaired. Alright, so cut back to today. Man, oh my goodness. The car engine overheated, which is what I got fixed the last time. Took it back to the same place, but my mom has a mechanic person who actually went in there with me to see what they did because I was still suspect. Like, I didn't think that... I thought something was wrong, basically. Like, it's been a month and all of a sudden my car is acting up the same way it did before. Like, that seems kind of stupid. And so he went in and saw that they overcharged me. They overcharged me over $700. And I'm just thinking to myself, y'all are some motherfuckers, like literally. Like, I don't like to really curse a lot. I'm trying to cut down on it, but like seriously, those are some serious motherfuckers right there. Like, how are you gonna take advantage of somebody like that who clearly doesn't have a lot of money to begin with? Like, y'all are some really bum motherfuckers. And this is from Carwise Automotives. I don't know if you have a Carwise near you, don't go to them. Just don't do it. Like, literally, fuck them. They do not deserve your business or your money. But now that that rant's out of the way, I'm going to be uploading the other part with the last episode beforehand, probably tomorrow. But I really wanted to get this episode in the way because I really, really enjoyed this episode. But before we get on to that, let's just settle down. We're done with the rant, done with the little things. Let's just dive on into it, okay? And here we go. Alright, so before we begin, I do want to point out that I wanted to try something different because with my schedule as it is right now, I can't do the exact format I wanted to do, which is a non-spoiler review video first and then a spoiler review. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the first half of this as the non-spoiler review, and then the second half of this video is going to be a spoiler filled review where I get to go in depth with everything I loved about the episode, everything I hated about the episode, which I can totally, spoiler alert, I didn't hate this episode, like, let's be honest. But yeah, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's begin with this review. Alright, so let me start off by saying this has got to be my favorite Samurai Jack episode ever. Like, out of all the seasons, this is literally my favorite. And it's because it hits on a question that's never really been asked or answered before. And that is the fact of what if Jack had to kill? Like, what really would happen in that aspect? Because he's always been destroying robots and stuff. But these aren't robots. These are people. These are actually living beings. And he's never had to do that before. And they actually go through his little thing of like going from not being okay with it really to being okay with it. And they include something in there to kind of tie that all in a past story or whatnot. Now, I'm not going to get into too many spoilers or whatnot because I wanted to cut this video and have to like non-spoiler and spoiler review. So don't worry about that. But overall, this episode was great. The visual was great. The fighting was great, even though it's kind of at the end. And everything. And one thing I wanted to say, which is about the last episode, there was a part in the last episode that made me think, what is the point of this? Like, it seems like it's just very disjointed. And they kind of answered what the point of that was with this episode, which I will get to in the spoiler review. But overall, this was a great episode. Like, oh my goodness, I was so hyped for this episode from beginning to end. I couldn't stop watching, and when it ended, I was like, no, I want more. But, like, oh, and one thing I did want to talk about, as far as visually, this is probably one of the most beautiful episodes of Samurai Jack I've seen ever. like literally 10 out of 10. But yeah, as far as this episode goes, I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10. And that is saying a lot for me because I rarely give anything past an 8. And it's definitely worth watching. I watched it on the Adult Swim website because of my video provider. If you can watch it on Toonami, go watch it. And you can hear this from me, but there's like a couple of YouTube videos maybe out there. Maybe you can check up some stuff there. But whatever you do, just go watch it, go check it out. And as far as that is the end of my non-spoiler review. 9 out of 10, beautiful episode, great transition, great ending. Can't wait for the next episode. Now, if you are here for the spoilers, it's about to come right now. Alright, so if you're still here, or if you skip to the annotation, whatever that may be, you know, we're at the spoilers now. So let's go on and dive right into it. Man, like, I honestly, like, when he was, like, riding in the river and stuff, like, it was very interesting and visually great. Like, the water with the blood and everything, it just felt so nice. Like, I could see me putting that on a wall somewhere. And then we got to the part where he was in the cave, and that's where my question for the last episode got answered. Because if you watched the last episode, you saw that there was like kind of a parallel between Jack and this wolf, and they were fighting like these robots and the girls with Jack, and these bear-like creatures with the wolf. And though it was visually was cool, I will say it felt kind of tacked on. Like, you kind of wondered, what was the point of this? Like, I'm guessing it was supposed to be some kind of metaphor or whatever, but it felt like it took away some time that really could have been meant for something else, in my opinion. But when they came to this episode and showed that the wolf was actually going to be with Jack, and helping him heal his wounds and all this other stuff, and helping him eat and get his strength back up. That's when I was like, okay, interesting. I like that. But it was like, when I first saw it, I was like, what is happening? Like, this seems super tacked on and not necessary. As far as like him knowing about the killing and whatnot, it was good to see like his other self like come in and be like, you can't kill, you've never killed a person. And then it goes to the story of when his father killed and he saw him do it, and it did something that I kind of wish more shows and stuff would do. And it kind of went straight to the point, where it was just like, you know, where people will drag on in the episode going, you shouldn't kill because of this, or you can kill necessary because blah 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 such and such. No, this episode, it hit the point, it hit it hard, and then it was done with it. And I love that, because you're not wasting time on something we've seen a million times. Like, we've seen that so much in so many other animes and so many other movies and so many other shows. And I love that decision. And then when it got to them fighting, it was very interesting because, I mean, he was killing them left and right. They couldn't stand a chance. Like, man, it was like, rest in peace to these girls. I'm so sorry. Now, it does make me wonder that the last girl who fell off the bridge, is that the girl who was in the first episode saying, like, she was looking into the light and all this other stuff? And if it is, I wonder if that's going to factor into the next episode, because I'm guessing she's not dead yet. That's my guess, because they both kind of fell the same way. And I'm pretty sure she's not done, because that's kind of a rivalry thing I think they're going to keep going with up until she actually is dead, like you see her dead. But yeah, that's a good question. I hope it gets answered. As far as like anything I disliked about this one, it was kind of like, it kind of kept going with the wolf thing. Like, it was nice and it made sense, but it felt too long, and I kind of wanted more of the fighting. I wanted it to happen more, because while this is probably one of the best paced Samurai Jack endings probably, it kind of felt slow in the middle, just a bit. Like, I wanted it to pick up somewhere, and it did in the end. It picked up fine in the end, but it just felt like that was a little bit too much. But yeah, as far as that goes, perfect ending pretty much for me, and I can't wait to see more. Next episode is probably going to be amazing. Now, will it live up to this episode? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure, because this one set my expectations pretty high. But that is all I'm going to have to say about this episode as far as spoilers go. 9 out of 10. Sticking with that. Man, you got to see the show. Alright guys, so tell me what you thought about this episode if you see it, or if you're going to see it soon. Let me know what your score for it was. Was it great? Was it bad? Did it really suck ass? Why am I watching this show? Go ahead, tell me in the comments. And until next time, Godspeed, Pilgrims. Peace.